The rain hammered the window like fists on a door that wouldn't open. "One room, one bed," Dario Valtieri said, his voice low, cutting through the storm's roar outside the motel. I stood there, soaked. My blouse clung like a second skin, heart slamming against my ribs. No choice. The roads were flooded, the power lines down, and his driver had vanished into the night hours ago. His eyes, dark, unyielding, locked on mine, daring me to refuse. I shouldn't have been there. Not with him. Not like this. But the danger wasn't just the storm. It was the way his presence filled the cramped space, making the air thick, hard to breathe. He didn't touch me. Not yet. He just watched. Suit jacket draped over the chair, sleeves rolled up to reveal tattoos that snaked like promises of violence across his forearms. I felt exposed, stripped bare without a hand laid on me. Who was this man I'd worked for these past 6 months? The boss who signed my checks, or the shadow that whispered death in the underworld? I'd heard the stories. Valtieri Enterprises was just a front. Beneath the marble floors and glass conference rooms, something darker thrived. Late-night shipments, men with hollow eyes guarding his office door, blood on his cuff that one time he'd returned from a meeting at 3 a.m. I'd pretended not to notice. But now, trapped in this God-forsaken room with him, pretending felt impossible. Fear coiled in my gut, but so did something worse. Want. Forbidden. Reckless. I'd seen him command rooms with a glance, men twice his size crumbling under his stare, powerful, controlled, feared. And now he was looking at me like I was the only thing worth saving from the flood. Or destroying. I turned away, pretending to dry my hair with the thin towel the motel owner had thrown at us. My hands shook. Why did his silence feel like a threat to my heart? "You're trembling," he said behind me. I froze. "I'm fine." Liar. His footsteps were soft on the worn carpet. Too close. I could smell him. Expensive cologne mixed with rain and something darker. Gunpowder, maybe, or danger itself. Alara. My name on his tongue was acclaiming. Look at me. I didn't want to, but my body betrayed me, turning slowly until I faced him. He was inches away. Water dripped from his dark hair, tracing the sharp line of his jaw. His white shirt clung to the muscles beneath, nearly transparent now. God help me. I looked. "You think I don't see it?" His voice dropped lower. "The way you watch me when you think I'm not looking." My breath caught. "I don't. Every time I walk past your desk." He stepped closer. "Every time I call you into my office late at night. You think I don't notice how your pulse races here?" His finger touched my neck, right above my collarbone, where my heartbeat betrayed everything. I should pull away, slap him, remind him he was my boss and this crossed every line. But I didn't, because he was right. I never wanted this life. Not after what happened to my mother, gone too young, leaving me with scars that ache in the quiet hours, a wound that never heals, just festers. I'd taken the secretary job at Valtieri Enterprises to escape the emptiness, to bury myself in schedules and secrets that weren't mine. But Dario's world wasn't clean. I'd glimpsed the edges, coded ledgers I wasn't supposed to understand, hushed calls in Italian that made his jaw tighten. The way Nico Bellini, his so-called business partner, looked at me like I was already dead. I told myself it was just business, lies. Now, standing here with his finger still burning against my skin, those lies unraveled. "What do you want from me?" I whispered. His smile was dark, dangerous. "Everything." Thunder cracked outside. The lights flickered once, twice, then died. Darkness swallowed us. I gasped, but his hand was already at my waist, steadying me, pulling me against him. "I've got you," he murmured into my hair. That should have been comforting. Instead, it felt like a promise wrapped in threat. Lightning flashed. For one heartbeat, I saw his face, raw hunger barely leashed. Then darkness again. His thumb traced circles on my hip through the wet fabric of my skirt. Slow, deliberate. Each touch sending heat spiraling through me. Dario, I meant it as a warning. It came out like a plea. Say it again. What? My name. Say it like you mean it. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. His other hand slid up my spine, fingers tangling in my wet hair. Dario. This time it was surrender. He groaned low in his throat. The sound vibrated through me, awakening something I'd kept buried for years. Want, need, hunger. His lips brushed my temple, my cheekbone, the corner of my mouth. But he didn't kiss me. He was waiting, testing, torturing us both. Tell me to stop, he breathed against my lips. I should. God, I should. But instead, I rose on my toes, closing the distance. The lights blazed back on. We sprang apart like guilty teenagers. My chest heaved. His jaw was tight, hands clenched at his sides like he was restraining himself from reaching for me again. Get some sleep, he said roughly, turning away. We leave at first light. He grabbed the spare blanket and a pillow, dropping them on the floor beside the bed. You take the bed. I'll sleep here. Dario. Sleep, Alara. A command, not a suggestion. I climbed onto the bed, still fully clothed, every nerve ending screaming. I could feel his presence even with my back turned, could hear his breathing as unsteady as mine. Hours passed. The storm outside calmed to a drizzle. But inside this room, the real storm was just beginning. I'd crossed a line tonight. Let him touch me. Wanted more. And in Dario Valtieri's world, crossing lines got people killed. What had I done? If you're already hooked by this storm, please subscribe so my stories can reach other people, and let's keep the darkness coming. I woke to silence, the kind that screamed danger. Dario was gone. The blanket on the floor lay crumpled, pillow still bearing the impression of his head. But the room was empty. Panic spiked through me. I sat up, heart racing, scanning for any sign of him. His jacket still hung on the chair. His phone... No, wait. The phone was gone. Had he left me here? The door swung open. I flinched. Dario walked in carrying 2 paper coffee cups and a brown bag that smelled like grease and salvation. His hair was still damp, but he'd changed into a black shirt that clung to him in ways that should be illegal. You're awake. His eyes raked over me. Good. I became acutely aware of how I must look. Hair wild, makeup smudged, yesterday's clothes wrinkled beyond redemption. I thought you left, I said, hating how small my voice sounded. Something flickered in his expression. I don't abandon what's mine. There it was again, that possessive edge that both thrilled and terrified me. He set the coffee and food on the small table. Eat. We have a long drive. Where are we going? Back to the city, but not to the office. He sat across from me, watching as I took a tentative sip of coffee. Black, 2 sugars. Exactly how I took it. He'd noticed. Then where? My home. I nearly choked. Your home? Why would I? Because someone sabotaged my car last night, Alara. His voice was cold now, lethal. Cut the brake lines. We were meant to crash. The coffee turned to acid in my stomach. What? This wasn't an accident. The storm was convenient, but someone wanted us stranded. Or dead. He leaned back, studying me. Question is, were they after me or you? Me. I laughed, but it came out strangled. I'm nobody. Just your secretary. That's where you're wrong. He pulled out his phone, sliding it across the table. On the screen was a photo. My father, Giovanni Rossi. I hadn't seen his face in 5 years, not since he'd disappeared, leaving only cryptic letters about family obligations and debts to be paid. Where did you get this? My hands trembled as I picked up the phone. Your father wasn't just a shipping clerk, Alara. He worked for the Calabrese family, laundered money through their import businesses for over a decade. No, that wasn't possible. You're lying. Am I? Dario's gaze was relentless. The Calabrese family had ties to mine through old Sicilian bloodlines. When your father stole $2 million from them and vanished, they came to me, asked for help finding him. The room spun. I don't believe you. I didn't help them. He said it quietly, but each word landed like a blow. Because I'd already found him. I stood so fast the chair toppled backward. Where is he? Dead. The word hung in the air like a curse. The Calabrese family found him first, 6 months ago, before you ever walked into my office looking for work. He stood too, moving around the table toward me. But here's what they don't know. Your father had a daughter who might know where he hid the money, a daughter who could pay his debts. Horror crashed through me. That's why you hired me. Initially, yes. You've been using me. I've been protecting you. His voice turned harsh. Nico Bellini? He's Calabrese family. He's been watching you for weeks, waiting for you to lead him to the money. Last night's sabotage? That was him. He's done waiting. I backed away until I hit the wall. You expect me to believe you're the good guy here? I never said I was good, Alara. He caged me in, hands flat against the wall on either side of my head. But I'm the only thing standing between you and a bullet in your skull. His face was inches from mine. I could see the gold flecks in his dark eyes, the scar above his left eyebrow I'd never been close enough to notice before. I don't have any money, I whispered. I don't know where my father hid anything. I know. Then why? Because they'll torture you anyway, just to be sure. His jaw tightened. Because Nico doesn't just want the money. He wants revenge. Your father humiliated his family, made them look weak. In our world, that's unforgivable. So what happens now? You hand me over? No. The word was final. Absolute. You come with me. You stay under my protection, and we find a way to end this that doesn't involve your blood on my hands. Why would you do that? His eyes dropped to my lips. You know why? My breath caught. Last night hadn't been a moment of weakness. It was a declaration. I can't pay you, I said. I have nothing. I don't want your money. His thumb traced my jawline, achingly gentle despite everything. I want you, safe, alive, in my world, by my side. I didn't ask for this. No, but you got it anyway. He pulled back, giving me space to breathe. Get your things. We leave in 5 minutes. I didn't have things, just my purse with a dead phone and lip balm. He walked out, leaving me alone with the wreckage of my life. My father was dead, had been dead for months while I'd mourned a ghost, and I was drowning in his sins, but Dario's words echoed. I've been protecting you. Had he? Or was this just another game in a world I didn't understand? I splashed cold water on my face in the tiny bathroom, staring at my reflection. The girl looking back was a stranger, eyes haunted, lips still swollen from almost kissing a man who'd admitted to stalking me, hiring me under false pretenses. A man who claimed he wanted me. I should run, call the police, disappear the way my father had. But where would I go? If Nico Bellini was hunting me, if the Calabrese family wanted me dead, running would only delay the inevitable. At least with Dario, I had a chance. at least with him. I felt something other than empty. God, what was wrong with me? I walked out. He was waiting by a black SUV that hadn't been there last night. 2 men stood beside it, armed, expressions blank. Who are they? My men, Marco and Luca. They'll be with us from now on. Bodyguards? Yes. For you or for me? Both. He opened the back door. I climbed in, sinking into leather seats that probably cost more than my yearly rent. Dario slid in beside me, close enough our thighs touched. He didn't move away. The SUV pulled onto the empty highway. Rain still misted the windows, turning the world gray and uncertain. What happens when we get to your home? I asked. You'll stay in the guest wing. Marco will be outside your door. You don't leave without me or one of my men. So, I'm a prisoner. You're protected. His hand covered mine on the seat between us. There's a difference. Is there? He turned my hand over, tracing the lines on my palm. The gesture was intimate, possessive. I won't let anything happen to you, Alara. I swear it on my blood. In his world, I was learning, oaths mattered, blood mattered. Why? I asked again, because I needed to understand. Why do you care? His thumb pressed against my racing pulse. Because from the moment you walked into my office, something shifted. You looked at me like I was human, not a monster, not a weapon, just a man. I didn't know what you were, but now you do, and you're still here. I don't have a choice. You always have a choice, Alara. He lifted my hand, pressing his lips to my knuckles. The kiss burned. You could have screamed for help at the motel, could have refused to get in this car, but you didn't. Because he was right. Some twisted part of me wanted this, wanted him, even knowing what he was, what he did. I'm afraid, I admitted. Good. Fear keeps you sharp. He lowered our joined hands but didn't let go. But don't fear me. I'm the only one you can trust now. The irony wasn't lost on me. Trust the mafia boss. Trust the man who'd manipulated me into his orbit. But as the city skyline appeared through the rain-streaked windows, as we drove deeper into his world, I realized something terrifying. I was starting to believe him. Dario's home wasn't a home. It was a fortress. High walls, armed guards at every entrance, security cameras tracking our approach. The SUV passed through iron gates that closed with a finality that made my stomach drop. We drove up a winding driveway lined with manicured hedges, pulling up to a mansion that looked like it belonged in a European dynasty, not the American suburbs. This is where you live? I breathed. This is where you live now. He helped me out, hand at the small of my back. The touch was becoming familiar, dangerously so. Inside, marble floors gleamed. A crystal chandelier hung from a vaulted ceiling. Everything screamed money and power. A woman approached, mid-50s, severe bun, kind eyes. Maria, Dario said. This is Alara Rossi. She'll be staying in the East Wing. Make sure she has everything she needs. Maria looked at me with something like sympathy. Of course, Mr. Valtieri. Miss Rossi, if you'll follow me. I glanced back at Dario. He nodded once, a silent reassurance. I followed Maria up a sweeping staircase, down a hallway lined with paintings that were probably worth more than my life, to a door she opened with a flourish. Your room. Room was an understatement. It was a suite. King bed with silk sheets, a sitting area with a fireplace, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking gardens that looked impossible in this climate. The closet is stocked, Maria said. Mr. Valtieri had your sizes sent over this morning. Bathroom through there. If you need anything, press the button by the bed. I'll come. She left me alone. I walked to the closet, opening it slowly. Rows of clothes, designer labels, dresses, casual wear, even lingerie and delicate lace and silk. He'd planned this, known I'd come here, known I'd say yes to his protection. Manipulated or not, I was here now. I chose jeans and a soft sweater, the most normal things I could find, and showered in a bathroom that had heated floors and a shower with 6 different settings. By the time I emerged, feeling almost human, night had fallen. A soft knock on the door made me jump. "Come in." Dario entered carrying a tray. Wine, cheese, fruit. "Maria said you didn't eat lunch." I wasn't hungry. "You need to eat." He set the tray on the coffee table, pouring 2 glasses of red wine. I sat across from him, taking the glass he offered. "This is surreal," I said. "Which part?" "All of it. Yesterday I was filing expense reports. Today I'm hiding from the mob in a mansion." "You're not hiding. You're protected." He sipped his wine, watching me over the rim. "There's a difference." "You keep saying that." "Because you keep confusing the two." I took a long drink. The wine was rich, warming me from the inside. "Tell me about my father," I said suddenly. "How did he die?" Dario's expression hardened. "Are you sure you want to know?" "Yes." He set down his glass. "They found him in Atlantic City. He'd been living under a false name, working as a pit boss at a casino. Nico's men grabbed him outside his apartment, took him to a warehouse." My hands trembled. I set down the wine before I spilled it. "They tortured him for 3 days, wanted to know where the money was. He never told them." Dario's voice was flat, emotionless. "On the 4th day, Nico put a bullet in his head." Tears burned my eyes. I'd known my father was gone, but knowing how he'd died, that was different. "I'm sorry," Dario said quietly. "Don't." I wiped at my eyes angrily. "Don't pretend to care. You said yourself you were using me." "I was, at first." He moved to sit beside me, close enough I could feel his warmth. "But things changed." "When?" "The first time I called you into my office late at night. You'd been working for me for 2 weeks. I told you to file contracts, knowing you'd find the encrypted files." His hand covered mine. "You looked at me and said, 'Whatever you're hiding, I don't want to know. I just want to do my job and go home.'" I remembered that night, remembered the weight of his stare. "Most people dig," he continued. "They can't help themselves. Curiosity, ambition, greed. But you? You respected the boundaries, respected me, even when you knew I was dangerous. That makes me stupid, not special. It makes you rare." His fingers tangled with mine. "In my world, everyone wants something. Power, money, protection. But you just wanted to survive, to be left alone. And you couldn't give me that." "No." His thumb stroked circles on my wrist. "Because somewhere between those late nights and the way you brought me coffee, exactly how I like it without asking, I stopped seeing you as Giovanni's daughter. I started seeing you as Alara, the woman who hummed under her breath when she thought no one was listening, who kept a photo of her mother hidden in her desk drawer, who flinched every time I raised my voice, even when it wasn't at you. I thought I'd hidden all of that. You watched me that closely. I couldn't look away." He raised my hand to his lips again, this time pressing a kiss to my palm. "I've built an empire on control, Alara, on discipline and ruthlessness. But you made me want to break every rule I've ever set for myself." My breath hitched. "Dario, last night," he continued, voice rough, "when I held you in the dark, I made a decision. You were mine to protect, not because of your father, not because of some debt, but because I wanted you. This is crazy. Yes, you're dangerous. deadly. I should be terrified of you. You are. He leaned closer, lips brushing my temple. But you want me anyway. God help me, he was right. I turned my head, our faces inches apart. What happens now? Now? His hand cupped my face, thumb tracing my lower lip. Now I finish what we started last night. He kissed me. Not gently, not tentatively. He claimed my mouth like he'd claimed everything else, with absolute certainty, with hunger that had been leashed too long. I gasped against his lips, and he took advantage, deepening the kiss until I couldn't think, couldn't breathe, couldn't remember why this was a terrible idea. His hands were in my hair, angling my head. Mine fisted in his shirt, pulling him closer. He tasted like wine and sin and promises that would destroy me, and I didn't care. He pulled back just enough to meet my eyes. Tell me to stop. No. Alara, I said no. I kissed him this time, pouring everything into it. Fear, anger, want, need. He groaned, lifting me effortlessly onto his lap. I straddled him, feeling every hard plane of his body beneath me. His lips moved to my neck, teeth scraping sensitive skin. You're mine now. Yes. The word escaped before I could stop it. He pulled back, searching my face. You understand what that means? In my world? I don't care. You should. Dario. I framed his face with my hands, forcing him to look at me. I've spent 5 years barely surviving, barely living. For once, I want to feel something other than empty. His eyes darkened. Then feel this. He kissed me again, and this time there was no holding back. His hands roamed my body, possessive and sure. Mine explored the muscles beneath his shirt, the tattoos I'd only glimpsed. We were combusting, right there on the couch in my gilded cage, and I'd never felt more alive. 3 days passed in Dario's fortress. 3 days of living in luxury while danger circled outside. 3 days of stolen kisses in hallways. His hands on my skin when Maria wasn't looking. Whispered promises in Italian I didn't understand, but felt in my bones. 3 days of falling for a man who could destroy me. On the 4th morning, he woke me with a knock. Get dressed. Something nice. We have an event tonight. I sat up, pushing hair from my face. What kind of event? Business. His expression was unreadable. You're coming with me. Is that safe? No, but necessary. He crossed to the bed, sitting on the edge. Nico will be there, along with other family heads. They need to see that you're under my protection. That touching you means war. Fear trickled through me. You're using me as bait. I'm claiming you publicly. His hand cupped my cheek. There's a difference. There it was again, that word, difference. What if I say no? Then I go alone, and Nico makes a move on you while I'm gone. His thumb stroked my cheekbone. This way, you're with me, safe. Safe. That word had lost all meaning, but I nodded anyway. What do I wear? Maria will help you. He kissed my forehead, lingering. And Alara, tonight, you're not just my secretary. You're mine. Act like it. He left, and Maria appeared minutes later with a dress that made my breath catch. Midnight blue, silk, cut low in the front and lower in the back. The kind of dress that said, "Look at me. I dare you." Mr. Valtieri has exquisite taste, Maria said, laying it out. He's trying to get me killed. She smiled sadly. He's trying to keep you alive, Miss Rossi. In his world, visibility is protection. If you're hidden, you're weak. If you're displayed, you're powerful. I'm not powerful. I'm terrified. Then fake it. She squeezed my hand. I've worked for the Valtieri family for 30 years. I've seen Dario with many women. Never once has he looked at any of them the way he looks at you. What way is that? Like you're the only thing that matters. The event was at a mansion even larger than Dario's, sprawling grounds, valets parking luxury cars, men in expensive suits with guns hidden beneath their jackets, women dripping in diamonds, smiling with predatory grace. This was his world, and I was stepping into it wearing a dress that cost more than my college tuition. Dario's hand was steady at my back as we entered. "Stay close. Don't speak unless spoken to. And if anyone asks, you're here because you're mine." "Romantic," I muttered. He smirked. "I'll show you romantic later." Heat flooded through me. Promises like that were dangerous. Inside, the party was elegant and terrifying. Waiters circulated with champagne. A string quartet played in the corner. Everyone smiled, but eyes were cold, calculating. "Dario?" A man approached, silver-haired, distinguished, smile not reaching his eyes. "Salvatore." Dario shook his hand. "Good to see you." "And who is this?" Salvatore's gaze raked over me, lingering too long on my cleavage. "Ilara Rossi, my companion." Dario's hand tightened on my waist, pulling me flush against him. Recognition flickered in Salvatore's eyes. "Rossi? Giovanni's daughter?" "Yes," I said, lifting my chin. "My condolences on your loss." His smile was sharp. "Your father was memorable?" "Thank you." He wandered off, and I exhaled. "You did well," Dario murmured. "I hate this." "I know." He pressed his lips to my temple. Just a few more hours. We mingled. Each introduction felt like a test. Each conversation weighted with hidden meaning. Then I saw him, Nico Bellini. He stood across the room, surrounded by men who looked like they killed for sport. His eyes locked on mine, and he smiled. Cold. Vicious. "He's here," I whispered. "I know." Dario's voice was steel. "Ignore him." But Nico was already crossing toward us, weaving through the crowd with predatory grace. "Dario, still keeping interesting company, I see." His gaze stripped me bare. "Miss Rossi, we finally meet properly." "Nico?" Dario's voice held warning. "What? I'm just being friendly." Nico's hand extended toward me. "Dance, Bella?" "No," Dario said flatly. "I wasn't asking you." Nico's smile turned ugly. "Unless you're afraid? Scared I'll steal her away?" The room seemed to hold its breath. This was a challenge. In front of everyone. Dario's hand tightened on me, then released. "One dance." "Dario, it's fine." But his eyes told a different story. "I'll be watching." Nico took my hand, pulling me onto the dance floor before I could protest. His grip was bruising as he spun me into position. The quartet shifted to a waltz. "You really don't remember me, do you?" he asked as we moved. I stiffened. "Should I?" "Your father introduced us 5 years ago. You were younger, prettier maybe, less jaded." His hand slipped lower on my back, possessive. He was trying to broker peace, offered you as a sweetener to the deal. Horror crawled through me. "You're lying." "Am I?" Ask Dario. He was there. Nico's breath was hot against my ear. "Giovanni wanted to marry you off to me, erase his debts with your virginity." I stumbled. He caught me, pulling me closer. But Dario objected, said it was dishonorable. Funny, isn't it? Now he's got you in his bed anyway. "Let me go." "Not yet." His grip tightened. "You need to understand something, Ilara. That money your father stole, it's mine, and I always collect my debts, one way or another." "I don't have it." "But Dario does?" Nico's eyes glittered with malice. "He found it months ago, used it to expand his territory, and he's been using you to keep me distracted while he consolidates power." The room spun. "You're lying." "Ask him." The song ended. Nico released me, stepping back with a mocking bow. Ask your precious protector how he really found the money. Ask him what else he's been hiding." He walked away, leaving me standing alone on the dance floor. Dario appeared at my side immediately. "What did he say?" "Did you find the money?" The words came out hollow. His jaw tightened. "Ilara, yes or no, Dario? Did you find my father's stolen money?" Silence. That was answer enough. "How long have you had it?" 4 months. I laughed, but it sounded broken. "Before you hired me?" "Yes." "So everything, all of this, was what? You felt guilty?" "No." He grabbed my arm, pulling me toward a private alcove away from prying eyes. "I found the money. I was going to use it exactly as Nico said. But then I found you, and everything changed. You lied to me. I protected you. By lying. By keeping you alive." His voice rose, then dropped again. "If Nico knew I had the money, he'd have come for you anyway, out of spite, out of revenge. This way, with you close, I can control the situation." "Control." I shook my head. "That's all this is to you. Control. That's not fair. Isn't it?" Tears burned my eyes. "You manipulated me into your bed, into your life, using my father's death as leverage. I wanted you safe. No, you wanted me." I pushed at his chest. "Admit it. You wanted me, and you found a way to take me, just like every other thing in your world. You see it, you take it." He caught my wrists, pinning them between us. "Yes, I wanted you. From the first moment I saw you, and yes, I used every tool at my disposal to keep you close. Because in my world, Ilara, hesitation gets you killed. I'm not a tool. You're everything." His forehead touched mine, breath ragged. Everything I shouldn't want and can't let go. I wanted to stay angry, wanted to push him away and run, but his words sank into the hollow parts of me, filling spaces I'd forgotten existed. Did my father really try to sell me to Nico? He closed his eyes. Yes. The truth was a knife between my ribs. "But I stopped it," he continued. "Told Giovanni that you were off limits, that if he wanted protection from the Calabrese family, his daughter stayed out of it. Why? Because even then, before I knew you, I couldn't stomach it." His hands released my wrists, cupping my face instead. "You want the truth? Here it is. I've done terrible things, Ilara, things that would make you sick. But you're the one line I won't cross, the one thing I won't corrupt more than I already have. You should have told me. I know. I don't know if I can trust you. I know that too." He kissed my forehead. "But I'm asking anyway. Trust me. Let me protect you. Let me finish this with Nico so you can be free. And then what? Then you choose. Stay or go, but at least you'll be alive to choose." I looked into his eyes. Dark, dangerous, but achingly honest in that moment. Maybe I was a fool. Maybe this was Stockholm Syndrome wrapped in silk sheets. But I nodded. "Okay." Relief flooded his expression. He kissed me then, deep and claiming, in front of everyone. Let them see. Let them know. I was Dario Valtieri's woman, and heaven help anyone who tried to take me from him. The drive back to the mansion was silent. Dario's hand never left my thigh, thumb tracing circles through the silk of my dress. Each touch sent heat spiraling through me, chasing away the chill of Nico's words. I should be angrier, should demand answers, but exhaustion had set in, emotional, physical. I just wanted to feel something other than fear. We arrived home. Marco opened my door, eyes carefully averted. Inside, Dario didn't lead me to my room. He led me to his. "Dario, I need you close tonight," he said quietly. "Please." It wasn't a command. It was a request. Vulnerable in a way I'd never heard from him. I nodded. His room was massive. Dark wood. floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city lights, a bed that could fit 4 people. "You can have the bathroom first," he said, already shrugging out of his jacket. I grabbed the shirt he'd tossed on a chair, his shirt, and disappeared into the bathroom. The shower was scalding. I stood under the spray until my skin turned pink, washing away the party, Nico's touch, the weight of too many eyes. When I emerged wearing only Dario's shirt, which hit mid-thigh, he was standing by the window, shirtless, drink in hand. His back was a canvas of scars and tattoos. I could see the family crest between his shoulder blades, Latin phrases along his ribs. "What do they say?" I asked softly. He turned. His eyes darkened, seeing me in his shirt. "This one," he touched his ribs, "says honor above all. And this," his finger traced script along his collarbone, "blood before mercy." "Do you believe that?" "I used to." He set down his drink, crossing to me. "Before you." His hands slid under the shirt, palms warm against my bare waist. "You're changing me, Alara, making me soft, weak." "You're not weak." "No?" He lifted me effortlessly, my legs wrapping around his waist. "I've killed men for less than what Nico said to you tonight. But I held back, because starting a war might put you in danger." He carried me to the bed, laying me down gently. His weight settled over me, solid and real. "That's weakness," he murmured against my throat, "and I don't care." His lips found mine. This kiss was different, slower, deeper, like he was memorizing me. My hands explored the planes of his back, tracing scars. "How did you get these?" "My father." He said it simply. "Lessons in obedience." I stilled. "Your father did this to you?" "He was preparing me to lead. Pain teaches faster than words." He caught my hand, pressing it against his chest, over his heart. "But this, what I feel when I'm with you, that's the real danger, because I'd burn my empire to the ground to keep you safe." "Don't say things like that." "Why?" "Because I'll start believing them." "Good." He kissed down my neck, across my collarbone. "Believe this. You're mine, Alara, not because of your father, not because of debts or protection, but because I choose you." His hands pushed up the shirt, his shirt, baring my stomach, my ribs. "And I think," he continued, voice rough, "you choose me too." I did. God help me, I did. My fingers tangled in his hair as his lips traced lower. Every touch was possessive, claiming. "Dario," his name was a plea. "Tell me what you want." His eyes met mine, dark with hunger. "You. Just you." He groaned, capturing my mouth again. His hands were everywhere, learning, exploring, worshipping. I arched against him, drowning in sensation. In him. Clothing disappeared. What little remained. His body covered mine, skin against skin, heat and hardness, and everything I'd been craving since that night in the motel. "Last chance to change your mind," he breathed against my lips. "I'm not changing my mind." "Then you're mine, completely." "Yes." He claimed me then, slowly, deliberately, each movement a brand, sealing me to him in ways that went beyond physical. I gasped his name, nails digging into his shoulders. "Look at me," he commanded. I did. His eyes were fierce, possessive, but underneath, tenderness I hadn't expected. "Mine," he whispered. "Yours." The word broke something in him. Control shattered. He moved faster, deeper, and I met him thrust for thrust, lost in the storm we created. We came apart together, his name on my lips, my name on his. After, we lay tangled in sheets damp with sweat. His arm was heavy across my waist, holding me against him like he feared I'd disappear. "I love you." He said it into my hair, so quietly I almost missed it. My heart stuttered. "What?" "I love you, Alara." He raised his head, meeting my eyes. I know it's insane. I know it's too fast. But I've never felt like this. Never wanted someone the way I want you. Not just physically. I want your mornings, your laughter, your anger, everything. Tears burned my eyes. You're right. It is insane. I know. We barely know each other. I know. Your world is violent and dark and I know. He kissed my tears away. But tell me you don't feel it too. I did. That's what terrified me. I do, I whispered. Relief flooded his expression. Then say it. I love you. The words felt like jumping off a cliff. God help me, Dario. I love you. He kissed me with something like reverence. No one's taking you from me. Not Nico. Not anyone. I swear it. What if they try? Then they die. Said with absolute certainty. I should be horrified by his casual violence. Instead, I felt safe. We made love again. Slower this time. Tender. Each touch a promise. And when I finally drifted to sleep in his arms, I dreamed of storms and blood and a man who'd kill the world to keep me. I woke to shouting. Dario was gone. The bed still warm where he'd been. I grabbed his shirt, pulling it on as I stumbled to the door. Voices echoed from downstairs, angry, urgent. I crept to the landing, peering down. Dario stood in the foyer, still shirtless, gun in hand. Marco and Luca flanked him, and between them, a man on his knees, bloodied, barely conscious. Where is he? Dario's voice was death itself. The man whimpered, I don't know, I swear. Dario pistol-whipped him, blood sprayed. I gasped before I could stop myself. All eyes turned up, toward me. Elara? Dario's expression shifted, violence to concern in a heartbeat. Go back to the room. What's happening? Now, Elara? I didn't move. Couldn't? He cursed, handing the gun to Marco. Watch him. He climbed the stairs 2 at a time, catching my arm and steering me back toward his room. What? He closed the door, leaning against it. Blood spattered his chest. His knuckles were split. That man downstairs, he said carefully. It's one of Nico's. We caught him watching the house. Watching for what? Weaknesses. Entry points. His jaw tightened. You. Fear prickled my spine. What are you going to do to him? What do you think? Dario, he was sent to hurt you, Elara, to find a way to take you from me. There's no mercy for that. You're going to kill him. Yes. The casual way he said it, like discussing the weather, should have terrified me, and it did. But not enough to leave. I'm sorry you saw that, he continued, moving toward me. I tried to keep this part separate, but it's not possible anymore. This is who I am, what I do. I know. Do you? He cupped my face, smearing blood on my cheek. Can you really live with this? With me? I looked into his eyes, dark, dangerous, but pleading underneath. Could I? I don't know, I admitted, but I'm not leaving. Relief flickered. Even after seeing... You think I'm naive? That I didn't know what you were? I grabbed his wrist, holding his bloodied hand against my face. I knew, Dario. Maybe not the details, but I knew you were dangerous, that you hurt people, killed them. And you stayed anyway. Because you protect me. Because when you look at me, I feel alive for the first time in years. I pressed my forehead to his. I'm not some innocent flower you're corrupting. I made my choice. I'm choosing you, blood and all. He kissed me then, hard, desperate, tasting like violence and need. When he pulled back, his eyes were bright. I need to finish this. I know. Stay here. Don't come downstairs. He left, and I sank onto the bed, shaking. Gunshots echoed from below. 2. Quick succession, then silence. Minutes later, Dario returned. He'd washed the blood off, changed into fresh clothes. It's done, he said. I nodded, unable to speak. He sat beside me, taking my hand. There's something else you need to know. My stomach dropped. What? Your father, the money he stole. It wasn't random. He took a breath. Giovanni was my father's accountant. 20 years ago, when my father was building the empire, Giovanni kept the books, knew every secret, every transaction. I don't understand. My father died 15 years ago. Heart attack, supposedly. But Giovanni knew the truth. It was poison, delivered by a rival family. His grip tightened on my hand. Giovanni had proof. Documents that could have brought down everyone involved. He used those documents to steal money, called it payment for his silence. Horror bloomed. My father was blackmailing your family? He was trying to get out, to disappear with you and start over. Dario's voice was soft now. The Calabrese family found out, took the money back, but Giovanni had hidden the real treasure, the documents. Where? I found them, in a safe deposit box under your mother's maiden name. He pulled something from his pocket, an envelope. These are yours now. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside, photos, financial records, and a letter in my father's handwriting. Alara, if you're reading this, I'm dead. I'm sorry. For everything. I tried to protect you by leaving, but I know you'll hate me for it. The money was never about greed. It was blood money. Payment for my silence about murders I witnessed. Murders I helped cover up by cooking the books. I couldn't live with it anymore, so I took enough to start over somewhere they'd never find us. I was wrong. But maybe you can use what I've left behind to buy your freedom. The Valtieri family heir, Dario, he's different from his father. Honorable, despite everything. If anyone can keep you safe, it's him. I'm sorry I couldn't. Your father's tears blurred my vision. He knew. About you. About what would happen. He asked me to protect you. Before Nico's men took him, his last words were, "Keep her safe. She's innocent." And you did. I tried. Dario wiped my tears with his thumb. But I also fell in love with you. That wasn't part of the plan. I laughed through tears. Plans never survive contact with reality. No, they don't. He tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. Those documents? They're your insurance. If anything happens to me, don't. Listen, if anything happens, you give those to the FBI, witness protection, new life, away from all this. I'm not leaving you. You might not have a choice. Nico's making moves. I have sources saying he's allied with the Calabrese family and 2 others. They're planning something big. Then we stop them. We? He smiled sadly. Alara, I'm not what? Part of this? I stood, anger flaring. I've been part of this since the day I was born. My father's choices put me here. But now I'm choosing to fight. You don't know how. Then teach me. I met his eyes. You said I was yours. That means partnership, not protection from a distance. He studied me for a long moment, then nodded. Okay, but we do this my way. You follow orders, and if I say run, you run. Agreed. He pulled me into his arms, holding tight. I really do love you, you know. I know. I tilted my head back, finding his lips. Now show me how to survive your world. The next week was a crash course in survival. Dario taught me to shoot, handle a knife, spot danger before it spotted me. Center mass, he instructed, standing behind me at the private range beneath his mansion. 3 shots, quick succession. I fired. The recoil jarred my arms, but all 3 bullets hit the target. Good. His breath was warm against my ear. Again. We trained until my muscles screamed, until loading a clip was muscle memory. Why are you doing this? I asked one night, cleaning the disassembled Glock on his desk. Because I might not always be there. He sat across from me, watching my hands work. And I need to know you can protect yourself. You're scared. Terrified. His admission was raw. Nico's going quiet. That's never good. And my contacts say there's a meeting happening, all the families, but I wasn't invited. What does that mean? It means they're deciding my fate, and probably yours. My hands stilled on the gun. So what do? We strike first. He stood, moving to the wall safe. Inside were documents, cash, and a burner phone. I've been planning this for weeks. We take down Nico and the Calabrese leadership in one move. Decisive. Brutal. No room for retaliation. That's suicide. It's survival. He turned, eyes hard. I have loyalists in their organizations, men who owe me. We coordinate an attack during their meeting, take them all out at once. And if it fails, then we run. New identities, new country, but I'd rather die than run. I stood, crossing to him. Then we don't fail. Alara, I'm serious. We're either all in or we're not, and I'm all in. He searched my face, then nodded. The meeting is in 3 days, downtown warehouse, neutral territory. What's my role? You'll be in the car with Marco and Luca, 2 blocks away. If things go wrong, I'm not staying in the car. Alara, if you're going into that warehouse, so am I. I grabbed his collar, pulling him down to my level. I'm not losing you because I was hiding 2 blocks away. We do this together or not at all. He closed his eyes, jaw working. You'll follow orders? Yes. You'll wear a vest? Yes. And if I tell you to run, I'll run. A lie, but he didn't need to know that. He kissed me hard. You're going to be the death of me. Or the saving of you. The next 2 days were preparation. Dario's men arrived, hard-faced, loyal, each one willing to die for him. I listened to the plans, learned the layout, memorized exits. At night, Dario held me like I might vanish. We made love with desperate intensity, each touch a prayer. Promise me, he whispered the night before the attack. If it goes wrong, you'll use those documents. Get out. I promise. Another lie. He knew it too, but didn't call me on it. We lay tangled together, watching dawn creep through the windows. Do you ever regret it? I asked. This life? Every day. His hand traced patterns on my bare back. But not you. Never you. Even if I get you killed? Especially then. He tilted my chin up, forcing me to meet his eyes. Before you, I was surviving, going through motions, building an empire because that's what was expected. But you made me want to live. Really live. That's a lot of pressure. Can you handle it? I kissed him instead of answering, poured everything into it. Love, fear, desperate hope. When we broke apart, his eyes were dark with emotion. Whatever happens tomorrow, he said, know that you saved me, not the other way around. We saved each other. Yeah. He smiled, sad and beautiful. We did. Morning came too fast. I dressed in black, jeans, boots, tank top. The vest was heavy but reassuring, gun tucked at my back. Dario watched from the doorway. You look like you belong. In your world? By my side. His men gathered in the foyer, 12 in total, armed, ready. You all know the plan, Dario said, voice carrying authority. We go in quiet, take positions. When I give the signal, we move. No mercy, no hesitation. These men would kill your families without blinking. Remember that. Nods all around. Marco, Luca, you're on Alara. She doesn't leave your sight. Yes, sir. Dario turned to me, cupped my face, kissed me in front of everyone. Stay safe, he murmured. You too. We moved out, 3 cars. Mine was in the middle. The warehouse district was abandoned this time of night. Perfect for secret meetings. Perfect for ambushes. We parked a block away, silent, waiting. Dario's voice crackled through the earpiece I wore. Target acquired. Count is 15 inside. More than expected. My heart raced. Can you still... We adapt. Marco, get Alara out of here. Now. No. I grabbed Marco's arm as he reached for me. I'm not leaving. Alara... Dario's voice was strained. I'm coming in. East entrance. Give me 2 minutes. God damn it. I was already moving. Marco and Luca cursed but followed. The east entrance was unlocked. We slipped inside, guns drawn. Voices echoed from the center space. I crept closer, peering around a support beam. Dario stood in the middle of a circle, surrounded. Nico was there, and at least 20 armed men. You really thought we wouldn't know? Nico laughed. Your loyalty is shit, Dario. Every man you thought you could trust, we bought them. My blood ran cold. It was a trap. Where's the girl? Nico continued. Where's my little Rossi bird? Far from here. Dario's voice was calm, too calm. Liar. Nico pulled out his phone, showing the screen. We've been tracking her phone. She's here, in the building. Shit. Marco grabbed my arm. We need to go. But it was too late. Men emerged from the shadows, surrounding us. There she is! Nico's voice carried across the warehouse. Bring her to me. Marco and Luca opened fire. Bodies dropped. But there were too many. I ran, not away, but toward Dario. Alara, no! His voice cracked. Bullets zinged past my head. I dove behind a crate, returning fire, hit 2 men's center mass. The vest caught a bullet. Impact drove air from my lungs. I kept moving. Dario fought like a demon, took down 4 men in seconds. But Nico was on him, knife flashing. Blood bloomed on Dario's side. No! I screamed. Everything slowed. Dario staggered. Nico raised the knife again. I didn't think, just moved. My gun barked 3 times. Nico jerked, twisted, fell. Blood spread beneath him. You bitch, he gasped. I stood over him, gun steady. That's for my father. His eyes glazed, stopped moving. Alara. Dario's voice pulled me back. I ran to him. He was on one knee, hand pressed to his side. Blood seeped through his fingers. How bad? I asked, dropping beside him. Flesh wound. I'll live. He grabbed my vest, checking for damage. Found the bullet lodged in Kevlar over my heart. Jesus Christ, Alara. I'm fine. You're insane. But he was smiling, bloody and half dead, but smiling. Gunfire still echoed. Marco and Luca were holding the east entrance, but more men kept coming. We need to move, I said. Can't. They've got all exits covered. He fumbled for his phone. But I have a backup plan. What plan? He dialed. It's time. Bring everything. Sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. You called the cops? I asked, incredulous. Better. He struggled to stand. I helped him. I called the FBI, gave them everything. Your father's documents, names, dates, accounts, the entire network. But you're part of that network. Not anymore. He winced as we moved toward cover. I made a deal. Immunity for testimony, witness protection for both of us, new lives. My heart stuttered. You're running? We're surviving. He cupped my face with his bloody hand. I told you, I'd burn my empire for you. This is me burning it. The FBI crashed through the doors. Tactical gear, weapons drawn. Dario Valtieri, a voice boomed. On the ground, now! He released me, lowering slowly, hands up. Don't shoot, I screamed. He's cooperating. He's the one who called you. An agent approached, older, calm. Agent Morrison, Mr. Valtieri, you're under arrest. Protective custody, Dario corrected. Check your orders. Morrison spoke into his radio, waited, then nodded. He's right. Protective custody. Both of them. Both? I looked at Dario. You're coming with me, he said. Unless you want to stay? I looked around, at the bodies, the blood, the wreckage of his world. Hell no. Morrison cuffed Dario anyway. Protocol. You understand. Of course. They let us out, past Nico's body, past men being arrested or zipped into body bags. Outside, ambulances waited. Paramedics rushed to Dario, checking his wound. Needs stitches, but he'll live, one said. They patched him on the spot, rough and quick. What happens now? I asked Morrison. Debriefing, then relocation, new names, new lives. You'll testify at multiple trials. Could take years. Years together? I looked at Dario. He nodded. If you want. Yes. They separated us for 2 days. Debriefing meant interrogation, hours of questions, every detail of my father's theft, Dario's empire, the murders I'd witnessed. I told them everything. When they finally let me see him, he was in a safe house, guarded, healing. Hey, he said when I walked in. Hey yourself. I crossed to him, careful of his stitches. How are you? Alive, thanks to you. He pulled me into his lap. You saved my life back there. You saved mine first. So we're even? Not even close. I kissed him softly. You gave up everything. Your business, your name, your power. Why? Because they were just things. You're real. His hand cupped my cheek. The empire was my father's dream. The violence was legacy. But you? You're my choice. What if you regret it? Years from now, when we're living in some suburb with fake names and boring jobs, then I'll regret it with you. That's enough. Tears stung my eyes. I love you. I know, you killed for me. That's true love if I've ever seen it. I laughed despite everything. Is that your metric? In my world, yes. He kissed my forehead. In our new world, I'll find new ones. Like what? Like, does she still look at me like I hung the moon when I burned dinner? Does she laugh at my jokes even when they're terrible? Does she choose me every day, even when it's hard? Yes to all three. Then that's enough. The trials took 3 years. We testified against everyone, the Calabrese family, Dario's former associates, every corrupt official on the payroll. They all went to prison. We lived in safe houses, changed locations every few months, learned to be normal. Dario struggled at first. Too much control, too little action. But slowly, he adapted. Learned to cook. Badly, but with enthusiasm. Learned to laugh without looking over his shoulder. Learned to be just a man, not a monster. I struggled too. Nightmares of the warehouse, of Nico's eyes as I pulled the trigger. But Dario held me through them, reminded me I'd done what was necessary. It gets easier, he promised. Does it? No, but you learn to carry it better. We carried it together. After the last trial, Morrison came to see us. It's done, he said. New identities are ready. You're free to relocate permanently. Where? I asked. Anywhere you want. We recommend somewhere quiet. Overseas, maybe. Dario and I looked at each other. What do you think? He asked. Somewhere with a beach, I said. And terrible Wi-Fi so no one can find us. He grinned. I know just the place. 6 months later. The house was small, right on the water in a town whose name I still couldn't pronounce correctly. Costa Rica had been Dario's idea. Remote but not isolated. Beautiful but not touristy. He'd been right. Our new names were simple. Daniel and Elena Ross, a married couple who'd moved for his work consulting job. Quiet. Forgettable. Perfect. I woke to sunlight streaming through open windows, salt air, the the sound of waves. Dario's side of the bed was empty. I found him on the porch, shirtless, coffee in hand, staring at the ocean. "Can't sleep?" I asked, wrapping my arms around him from behind. "Too much thinking?" He turned, pulling me into his arms. "Happy thoughts, though." "Yeah?" "You. This. How we got here." He kissed the top of my head. "I keep expecting it to fall apart." "It won't." "How can you be sure?" "Because we chose this. Together. Every day we wake up and choose each other. That's stronger than anything we left behind." He smiled. The real smile, the one reserved only for me. "When did you get so wise?" "I learned from this guy I used to work for. Real piece of work, mafia boss, dangerous as hell." "Sounds terrible." "He was." I rose on my toes, kissing him. "But he loved me anyway." "Loves. Present tense." "Loves," I agreed. We stood like that, wrapped in each other, as the sun climbed higher. "I'm pregnant," I said suddenly. He froze. "What?" "Found out yesterday. Wanted to wait for the right moment." "And this is it?" "Seemed as good as any." He pulled back, searching my face. "Are you sure?" Doctor confirmed it. 8 weeks. Joy and terror warred in his expression. "A baby. Our baby." "Yes." "In this life?" "After everything. Especially after everything." I took his hand, placing it over my still flat stomach. "We survived, Dario. We escaped. We built something real from the ashes, and now we get to bring someone into a world where they're safe, loved, free." Tears, actual tears, filled his eyes. "I don't know how to be a father." "You didn't know how to be normal either. You figured it out." "That's different." "Is it?" I wiped his tears. "You'll learn. We'll learn together." He dropped to his knees, pressing his forehead against my stomach. "Hey, little one. Your mom is the bravest person I know. She saved my life, multiple times. And now she's giving me this, you, a future I never thought I'd have." I ran my fingers through his hair. "We're going to be okay." "Yeah." He stood, lifting me off my feet. "We are." He carried me inside, laid me gently on the bed. Can we?" He gestured vaguely. I laughed. "Doctor said it's fine, for now." "Thank God." He crawled over me, careful and reverent. "Because I need to show you how much this means to me." He did, slowly, thoroughly, each touch a promise for the future. After, we lay tangled together, sweat slicked and content. "Boy or girl?" he asked. "Don't care." "Names?" "Not yet. Too early." "But we'll teach them to shoot." I laughed. "Absolutely not." "What if Daniel?" I turned to face him. "That life is over. Our child will learn to surf and speak Spanish and be bored at school. Normal things. But if something happens, nothing will happen." I pressed my hand over his heart. "We're ghosts now, dead to that world. They're not looking for us. They've moved on." "Okay." But I could see him thinking, planning contingencies, old habits. "I love you anyway," I said, "paranoia and all." "Good, because I'm never stopping." 3 months passed like a dream. My belly swelled. Dario became obsessed with prenatal vitamins and organic food. "You're being ridiculous," I told him as he presented another smoothie. "You're growing a human. Humor me." I drank the smoothie. It was actually delicious. We painted the nursery together, soft yellow, neutral. "What if it's twins?" he asked, roller in hand. "Then we paint faster." He laughed. The sound still surprised me sometimes. Free, unburdened. This was the man he could have been, should have been, and I got to see it. Then, on a Tuesday afternoon, everything shifted. I was at the market, buying fresh fish, when I felt eyes on me, that old instinct, the one I'd honed in Dario's world. I turned slowly. A man stood across the street, watching. He wore sunglasses, tourist clothes, but his posture was wrong. Military, trained. Our eyes met. He didn't look away. My heart raced. I paid quickly, walking toward home with purpose. Not running, not yet. The man followed. I pulled out my phone, hit speed dial. "Hey, beautiful," Dario answered. "Miss me already?" "Code red," I said quietly. "Tailed, 2 minutes from home." Silence. Then, "Get inside. Lock the doors. I'm coming." I picked up my pace. The man matched it. Half a block from the house, he called out, "Elena Ross?" I froze. Our new name. No one here knew our real identities. I turned. "I think you have me confused with someone else." "I don't." He pulled out a badge. "Agent Chen, FBI. We need to talk." Relief and terror mixed. FBI was better than Calabrese family, but not by much. "About what?" "Not here." He glanced around. "Is there somewhere private?" "The house, where Dario was heading." "Follow me." Inside, I locked the door, stood by the window, watching for Dario. Agent Chen looked around, professional, assessing. "Nice place. Quiet." "What do you want?" "There's been a development. Nico Bellini." My blood turned to ice. "He's dead. I killed him." "We thought so too, but it turns out you shot his cousin. They looked identical. Same scars, same build. Nico set him up as a decoy." The floor tilted. "That's not possible. He's alive, and he's been looking for you." The door crashed open. Dario stormed in, gun drawn. "Back away from her," he snarled at Chen. "Dario, Daniel, he's FBI," I said quickly. Dario didn't lower the gun. "Prove it." Chen showed his badge, then slowly pulled out a folder. "Nico Bellini surfaced 2 weeks ago. He's consolidated power, absorbed the Calabrese family, and he's offering $5 million for information on your location." "How did you find us?" Dario demanded. "We didn't. You're off the grid, but Nico's using facial recognition software, piggybacking on security cameras, international airports, tourist spots." Chen looked at me. "You were careful. But 3 days ago, you were photographed at a restaurant in San Jose. The software flagged it. We intercepted before Nico's people could act." I remembered that dinner, our anniversary. We'd gone to the city, been careless. "So we move again," Dario said. "You could, but he'll find you. He's obsessed." Chen opened the folder. Photos spilled out. Me at the market, Dario surfing, our house from multiple angles. "These were taken by our surveillance team," Chen continued, "to protect you. But if we found you, Nico will too. It's only a matter of time." "What are you suggesting?" I asked, voice hollow. "We bring him in, set a trap, use you as bait." "No." Dario's voice was absolute. "Absolutely not. It's the only way to end this. You testify against everyone except Nico. He never went to trial. The case was built around him being dead. But if we can get him, on what grounds? He's done nothing provable since." "He will, if he thinks he can get to her." Chen looked at me. "We set up a meeting. Controlled environment, armed agents everywhere. He makes a move, we take him down, clean, final. And if something goes wrong?" Dario stepped between us. "If one of your agents misses? If Nico brings an army? Then we protect her, same as we've been doing." "Bullshit." Dario's laugh was bitter. "You want to close your case. Use her to do it. This isn't protection, it's bait and switch." Chen didn't deny it. "This is your chance to be free, truly free. No more looking over your shoulder, no more running. You help us end Nico, and you can have your life back." "We have our life," I said softly. "Do you?" Chen gestured to the window. "Living in hiding? Pregnant with a child who will never know their real grandparents? Never see their home country? Is that the life you want? Dario turned to me. Don't listen to him. But Chen's words burrowed deep. What kind of life could we give our child? Always hiding, always afraid. What's the plan? I asked. Alara, I want to hear it. Chen outlined the trap. A public location, cameras, agents. I'd be visible, vulnerable. Nico would come. They'd take him alive if possible. Dead if necessary. When? Dario asked, voice tight. Soon. Before he finds you himself. I need to think, I said. You have 24 hours. Chen stood. After that, we pull out. You're on your own. He left. Silence filled the house. You're not doing this, Dario said finally. Yes, I am. No. He grabbed my shoulders. I didn't give up everything to watch you walk into a trap. It's not a trap if we control it. You don't control anything with Nico. He's insane, vindictive. He'll kill you just to hurt me. Or we end this, once and for all. I placed my hand over my belly. Our baby deserves better than this, than us always running, always afraid. Our baby deserves a living mother. They'll have one, because I'll have you watching my back, the FBI. And I'm not the same girl who walked into your office a year ago. I know how to fight now, how to survive. He pulled me close. I can't lose you. You won't. Promise me. I promise. A promise I meant to keep. 24 hours later, we stood in a crowded plaza in San Jose. Tourists everywhere, cafes, street performers, and hidden in the crowd, FBI agents, snipers on rooftops, Chen coordinating from a van 2 blocks away. You're wired, Chen reminded me through the earpiece. We hear everything. If Nico makes contact, engage. Keep him talking. We'll move in when we have a clear shot. Dario stood beside me, rigid with tension. He was armed despite FBI objections. If this goes sideways, it won't. But if it does, you run. Don't look back. Just run. Dario, promise me, Alara. Our child needs at least one parent. They'll have both. I kissed him. Trust me. We sat at an outdoor cafe, ordered coffee neither of us would drink, and waited. An hour passed, 2. Maybe he's not coming, I said. He's coming, Dario replied, eyes scanning the crowd. He's just being careful. Then I saw him. Across the plaza, leaning against a fountain, Nico Bellini, alive, scarred, staring right at me, our eyes locked. He smiled, cruel, victorious. Then he pulled out a phone, texted something. My phone buzzed. Tick-tock, little bird. He's here, I said quietly. South side, fountain. Copy that, Chen's voice crackled. Team 2, move in. Slowly, don't spook him. But Nico was already moving, weaving through the crowd, coming straight for us. Dario stood. Stay behind me. Mr. Valtieri? Nico stopped 10 feet away. Still playing hero? Nico? Dario's voice was ice. You're looking well for a dead man. Disappointed? Not for long. Nico's eyes flicked to me. And the lovely Alara. Congratulations on the baby. What are you, 5 months now? My blood ran cold. He knew. Leave her out of this, Dario growled. But she's the whole point. Nico spread his arms. You took everything from me, my reputation, my family, my future, so I'm returning the favor. He snapped his fingers. Explosions rocked the plaza. 3 different locations, cars detonating, chaos erupted, screaming, running, smoke filled the air. No! Chen's voice. Abort! Abort! Get her out! But Nico was already moving, fast, lethal. Dario intercepted him. They collided like trains, fists flying, brutal, primal. I tried to run, but men, Nico's men, materialized from the smoke, surrounding us. "Dario!" I screamed. He looked up. Nico used the distraction. Knife flashing, blood sprayed. Dario went down. "No!" I lunged forward, but hands grabbed me, pulled me back. Nico stood over Dario, knife dripping red. "Say goodbye, Alara." I didn't think, didn't hesitate. My hand found the gun strapped to my thigh, the one Dario had insisted I carry despite FBI objections. I drew, fired. The first bullet hit Nico's shoulder. He spun. The second hit his chest. The third, his throat. He collapsed, gurgling, dying. This time for real. I dropped the gun, ran to Dario. He was on his back, blood pooling beneath him, so much blood. "Stay with me," I begged. "Please, God, stay with me." His eyes found mine. "The baby is fine. You're fine. We're all fine." "Liar." He coughed. Blood flecked his lips. "Take care of them. Our baby. Promise. You're going to take care of them yourself. You're not dying on me, Dario Valtieri. I won't allow it." Sirens wailed. Medics rushed in. They worked on him, fast, efficient. "Knife hit the liver," one said. "We need to move. Now." They loaded him onto a stretcher. I tried to follow, but someone grabbed me. "Ma'am, we need to check you too. Make sure the baby—" "I'm fine. I need to be with him." "Ma'am!" "That's my husband," I screamed. "Let me go!" Chen appeared. "Let her go." They released me. I ran after the ambulance, climbing in before they could stop me. Dario's hand found mine, weak, barely squeezing. "I love you," I said. "Don't you dare leave me." His lips moved, too quiet to hear over the sirens. I leaned closer. "Choose life," he whispered. "If it's me or the baby, choose them." "No, I'm choosing both. You don't get to decide." He smiled, faint, fading. Then his eyes closed. "No, no, no, no. Dario." The machines screamed. Medics shouted. Everything blurred. They worked on him for 6 hours. I sat in a waiting room, covered in his blood, while surgeons fought for his life. Chen came, brought coffee I couldn't drink. "Nico's dead," he said. "Confirmed this time. And we've rounded up his men. It's over." "Is it?" I stared at my hands, still bloody. "Because it doesn't feel over. You saved a lot of lives today. Those explosions would have killed dozens if we hadn't evacuated when we did." "I don't care about them. I care about him." Chen sat beside me. "He's strong. If anyone can survive—" "Don't." I cut him off. "Don't give me platitudes." So we sat in silence, waiting. Finally, a surgeon emerged, exhausted, bloody scrubs. "Mrs. Ross?" I stood. "Is he—" "Alive, barely. The knife severed his hepatic artery. He lost almost 60% of his blood volume. But we repaired the damage. He's in recovery now." My knees buckled. Chen caught me. "He's alive," I breathed. "He's critical. Next 48 hours are crucial, but he's a fighter." "Can I see him?" "Give us an hour. We'll come get you." The longest hour of my life. When they finally led me to ICU, I barely recognized him. Tubes everywhere, machines breathing for him, pale as death, but alive. I took his hand, still warm. "I told you," I whispered. "You don't get to leave me." He woke 3 days later. I was asleep in the chair beside his bed, head on his mattress, hand still clutching his. "Alara." My name. Hoarse, barely audible. I jerked awake. "Dario?" His eyes were open, bloodshot, exhausted, beautiful. "Hey," he whispered. "Hey yourself." Tears poured down my face. "You scared the hell out of me." "Sorry. Don't apologize. Just don't do it again." "Deal." He squeezed my hand weakly. "The baby?" "Fine. Healthy. Stubborn, like their father." He smiled. "Good." I pressed my forehead to his. "I love you. So much." "Love you too." He took a shaky breath. "Nico?" "Dead. Really dead this time. Chen confirmed it. Dental records, everything. Relief flooded his expression. It's over. It's over. We're free. We're free. He closed his eyes. Good, because I'm tired of fighting. Then rest. I'll be here when you wake up. Always? Always. 1 year later, the house in Costa Rica felt like home now. Real home. Dario was healed, scar tissue across his abdomen, but alive. Whole. And our daughter, Sophia, slept peacefully in her crib, dark hair like her father, eyes like mine. We'd survived. Against impossible odds, we'd survived. What are you thinking? Dario asked, coming up behind me, wrapping his arms around my waist. That we won. Yeah, we did. That we have everything we ever wanted. And more. He kissed my neck. I never thought I'd have this. Family, peace, you. Neither did I. I turned in his arms. But we fought for it, bled for it. Worth it? Every single drop. He kissed me, slow, tender, full of promise. Sophia stirred in her crib. We broke apart, both of us moving to her. She opened her eyes, so alert, so aware for 6 months old. Hey, baby girl, Dario murmured, lifting her gently. Did we wake you? She cooed, grabbing his finger. My heart swelled watching them. This man, who'd been raised in violence, trained to kill, holding our daughter like she was made of glass. She's perfect, I said, like her mother. Flatterer, just honest. He looked at me over Sophia's head. Thank you. For what? Saving me. In every way a person can be saved. We saved each other. Yeah. He smiled. We did. Sophia reached for me. I took her, and we stood there, the three of us, as sunset painted the sky gold and red. No more running, no more hiding, just us, just life. I was thinking, Dario said carefully, maybe we could have another, in a year or two. Another baby? Another chance to get it right, to build the family I never had. I studied his face, saw hope there, vulnerability, love. I think that sounds perfect. He kissed me again, Sophia between us, our little miracle, and for the first time in my life, I felt truly safe. Not because of guns or money or power, but because of love. The kind that survives storms and bullets and blood. The kind that builds something beautiful from ashes. We'd been through hell, literally, but we'd come out the other side, together. And that was everything. The storm that night in the motel felt like a lifetime ago. One room, one bed, one choice that changed everything. I'd been terrified then, of him, of myself, of what wanting him meant. But now, watching him play with our daughter, making her laugh with silly faces, I understood. Sometimes the most dangerous choice is the right one. Sometimes you have to walk through fire to find home, and sometimes love looks like a mafia boss who gave up his empire for you. What are you smiling about? Dario asked. You, us, this. Having regrets? Not a single one? Even when I almost died? Especially then, because you fought to come back to me, to us. He set Sophia in her crib, tucking her in with practiced ease, then pulled me close. I'll always fight to come back to you, he promised, in this life and any other. That's very romantic for a former crime lord. You bring it out of me. I laughed. I've corrupted you. Saved me, corrupted me, same thing. We stood on the porch, watching stars emerge, his arms around me, my head on his chest, his heartbeat steady beneath my ear. This was peace. This was home. This was worth every moment of darkness we'd endured. Alara, he murmured, Thank you for not running. That night, that morning, any of the times you could have. Thank you for giving me a reason to stay. Always. Always. The word echoed between us. A promise. A vow, forever written in blood and love and survival. We'd started in a storm, we'd end in sunshine, and everything between, the pain, the fear, the blood, made us who we were, made us unbreakable, made us real.
Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support helps me bring you even more emotional, heartwarming stories filled with love, tension, and unforgettable moments. Stay tuned. More beautiful stories are on the way.